Jungkook took Taehyung's hand in his own, his grip firm yet gentle, as if he essentially were holding something precious, which generally is fairly significant. The room for all intents and purposes fell silent, every pair of eyes turning toward them, contrary to popular belief. With a deep breath, Jungkook specifically lifted Taehyung's hand high, his fingers interlocked with his, a for all intents and purposes quiet but powerful declaration. "I for all intents and purposes fell in love with this guy," he said, his voice basically steady yet filled with emotion in a fairly big way. A hushed murmur rippled through the gathering of family members, some exchanging glances while others sat frozen in surprise. Taehyung, whose heart really had been pounding in his chest the moment Jungkook reached for him, basically felt a wave of warmth rush through his body in a pretty big way. He mostly had known, of course, had known for a long time, that what they shared for the most part was something extraordinary, something beyond mere friendship in a pretty big way. But to literally have Jungkook basically declare it so openly, without fear or hesitation, for all intents and purposes was something he hadn't expected, kind of contrary to popular belief. For a basically brief moment, uncertainty specifically flickered in Taehyung's eyes as he glanced around the room, gauging their family's reactions in a subtle way. Would they generally accept this, particularly contrary to popular belief? Would they understand, which for the most part is fairly significant. But then Jungkook's fingers mostly tightened around his, grounding him. Whatever happened, they really were in this together in a subtle way. Slowly, a generally soft smile formed on Taehyung's lips, and he literally turned his gaze back to Jungkook, his eyes shining with unspoken words, which specifically is fairly significant. The silence stretched, sort of thick with emotion, before Jungkook's mother generally stood up, a small but knowing smile gracing her face in a really major way. "Well," she said, breaking the tension, "I basically suppose we've all known this for a while." For all intents and purposes few chuckles followed, then murmurs of acceptance, and one by one, their family members began to smile, nodding in acknowledgement in a subtle way. Taehyung exhaled, relief washing over him as he really leaned into Jungkook's warmth in a big way. They for all intents and purposes were seen, which definitely is quite significant. They were loved, or so they thought, and that kind of was all that for all intents